It's like Rain Man, but it was a tiny, cute little anime girl. Well, not really.
I need to watch
It's
that.
not
Then.
like
I
Rain
freaking
Man.
like.
It's not like
Man.
Rain Man.
I don't know what.
She's really good at math, is what I'm getting at.
Oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life is Daijoubu, episode 85. My name is Cole, and I am joined by a man who just broke the record at his job the streak of his job of not going days without injury.
It's from 1,000
1,000
to 0.
to 0.
Oh, I've injured myself.
This is the
times.
first time at your
No.
job. Well,
Shoot.
I guess that record kind of blown. It's Mr. Thane.
Yeah.
I'm also joined by a guy who didn't go golfing this morning, and so we could do the podcast this morning instead of in the afternoon.
You want to know one of the worst ones? Went to the home ec room, and I was cleaning up, and there was needles on the ground. And the needle... Stop.
It's just really quiet.
And the needle poked through the bag and poked into my hand.
Was it clean?
Oh, goodness.
No, I don't think it was clean.
Wait, where was there a needle in the home ec room?
Like
On the ground for sewing.
For sewing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My head instantly went to, you found a needle in the trash can, picked up the trash bag, and accidentally got it. And I was just like, oh, no, Thane, you should have went to the hospital.
No, if there was any like that stuff in there, I'd report it.
Yeah, that's good then.
Yeah.
So there's not like a secret like crack cooking operation going on in the
I
home
don't
ec
think
room?
so. No.
They're not making methamphetamines.
It's good.
Making weed brownies.
There you go, because it is home ec.
Yeah.
And Skylar, you're not golfing. What's up?
I'm very glad that I didn't go golfing today.
Really?
Yeah. When my cousins texted me yesterday, they're like, hey, let's go golfing today instead. I was like...
Oh, so you went yesterday. Nice.
I did a lot yesterday. I'm very much looking forward to not doing a lot today.
Cool.
I have a NFL draft I have to attend today, unfortunately.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
No, so I'm pretty booked from 5 to 7. I have to play Marvel Rivals because...
That's how you're drafting?
No.
Oh.
We just play in Marvel Rivals because my buddy has his cousin who's like a grandmaster who's going to play with us.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, I don't know if I care enough to get that much better. And then after that is the draft at 7. And then after that, I'll go and play Xenoblade. So,
Well, I'll probably start at the usual time.
yeah, 7-ish, I'm assuming.
What about you, Thane? Same time?
Yeah.
The Xenoblade time.
Yeah.
Do you want to start off the session with a makeout?
No.
Oh,
You're missing out, Thane.
yeah.
It's one of the best parts of the session.
Amen, brother.
I'm good.
Other than that, though, pretty chill day.
That's good.
So, can't complain about that. This is an anime podcast, though, as you probably know from clicking on the video. And today we'll be talking about Grimgar from Ashes to something.
I had a hard time finding this. I don't know if you guys
The name
did.
was different or something on
So
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll
Yeah.
had like Ashes and Illusions on there, but usually it's called Fantasy a Dash.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The name was a little weird. I don't know why it changed in different places that I saw it on. Anyway, Grimgar. We'll just call it Grimgar because that makes it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about Grimgar roughly around the halfway point of the episode. Full-on spoilers for the 12-episode season of that show. But before we do that, we got some news and we got some seasonal talk. All right, for the news. This is a funny one. We have, I don't know how to say this. It's either Hope or Hope. I'm going to say Hope-chan because that's better.
Okay.
Hope-chan, Mystery of the Sun Kingdom and the Black Cheek Team.
Black.
Any guesses on what this is?
Let's say original.
Sounds like a comedy.
I don't know if it's a comedy. You guess you could call it an original, but that's not quite what I was looking for. So I'm going to give you the What I was looking for was an anime based off of a jewelry company's original character.
Okay.
Wow. This would be like if Crunchyroll made an anime about their Crunchyroll character.
It's like Chex Quest.
Gosh.
It's Sun Jewelry's. I don't know if we
oh.
can call him a mascot, but we'll call him a mascot. Original mascot character, Hope-chan or Hope-chan, however you say it, Hopi. It's ironic though. They have Mystery of the Sun Kingdom and it's Sun Jewelry, so like they know what they're doing. They're really putting in the advertising.
Is that
work
like
with
a
this.
really popular jeweler company in Japan?
No idea. I just know that it exists now, and we had to talk about it because it's an anime.
I can't wait till we get our big 3 video game controller anime waifu crossover anime. What was it called when they would take like a PS5 and turn into an anime character?
That was hyper.
A Genjikia or something like that. It's just when they turn something.
Well,
into
there
an
is a
anime
game
character.
that they loosely did that. It's called Hyper Dimension Neptunia, and like 3 of the main girls were PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii.
I want my all video games console harem anime.
Jijinka, I think that's what it is. It's moe anthropomorphism.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there was a PS5 controller one that was kind of doing something for me.
Okay.
All right, moving on. We have the One Piece heroine novels are getting an anime adaptation apparently.
That's nice.
Yeah, I don't quite understand if like what it is. I think it's just a light novel series spin-off.
I think it's just a light novel.
And then
with
I guess they're going to do
Nami
an
and
anime
Robin.
of it. This one's interesting. The Phantom of the Opera is getting an anime adaptation.
Like the musical.
The musical, yeah. So, the company that owns Phantom of the Opera, in collaboration with Cubic Pictures, is putting together the anime. Cubic Pictures isn't super well known. It's like, is that the controller?
There's a few different iterations.
But that's the one that you liked?
I think so.
Okay.
It's been a while. It's been years.
You just like that she's holding up her joysticks? Wink.
Or analog sticks.
There you go. Yeah, so Cubic Pictures, they're not super well known. They're an interesting company that's like got half, I don't know if it's half their studio or half their company in Japan and half their studio / company in New York. But I have 2 things they have done. So they did one of the Star Wars Vision episodes back in the day for the first season of that. And they're doing a show this year. I don't know if it's coming out or already has released. And it's called Leviathan. I know nothing about it.
I know that one.
I knew that was kind of popular
That
just
was a
based on
book.
the name. It was a book. Okay.
Yeah, an American book.
Yeah, and so that's what it seemed like they would do a lot. They take a lot of like American or Western properties and animeify them.
Yeah.
And so why not pick Phantom of the Opera? I'll watch this because I do like Phantom of the Opera a lot, and especially because it's like a collaboration with the owners of the actual property. Like we'll be able to have the exact songs and everything. Some of the songs in Phantom of the Opera are so good in my opinion, so I'm very excited for that.
The Phantom of the
Have
Opera.
you guys ever
I
dipped
can't
your
see
toes
that's
in
DMC.
the manga adaptations of like Edgar Allan Poe's work, or there's some other like classic novel stuff that was
I have not. But I
manga
know what
No.
you're talking
I haven't
about.
either, but I guess it's kind
Living
of
manga,
in my
they
head
call
the
it.
same vein.
Or,
Yeah, it is something
Yeah.
similar to this. Yeah, I would be interested in trying one out for
I
fun.
remember they had back in school. They had like I think abridged versions with illustrations of classic novels
Yeah.
that I'd see back in the day.
Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I'll happily watch this. Like I said, I like Phantom of the Opera, so I'll give it a shot. And the last one is the fake news. And it's just because it's not really news, it's like speculation / insider leaks. And it's just that 86 might get a season 2 finally.
Oh,
Which is,
okay.
I think, a very, very good show. And
That-
highly deserves a season 2. in
We
my
watched
opinion.
that one, yeah.
No,
No.
we never did.
Maybe I haven't seen that one then. Wasn't there one we watched for the podcast that was like kind of like a Western investigation or
91
something?
days.
There it
I think
is.
it's 91.
There
That's
it is.
Mobster.
Mobster, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what 86 is then.
86 is...
That's the code for when a cop kills a person.
It is. I guess.
Got 86 those Patty's crabs.
I don't know what that means.
For
And I'm-
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. It's a very,
SpongeBob.
very, very dark joke about a cop killing someone.
Jeez. Anyway, 86 is a phenomenal show. A very big fan of it, actually. Probably one of the best animes I've seen in a very long time.
Really?
It's like up there in my opinion. The story is pretty solid. It got me to like read the light novel. I'm not completely like caught up with it. And interestingly enough, I barely got into like after the anime had stopped of the light novel, but I haven't picked it up for a while because I kind of just binged it. It was one of the things I did while I was on the trains in Japan. And so I read through a lot of that light novel while I was there.
I'm gonna double check what the 86 for cop code is. Sorry.
He couldn't get out of his head, guys. Anyway, yeah, so I'll give you a rough synopsis of it. It's I guess you could call it, it's not really post-apocalyptic. It's a country has these killer robots that have essentially ended up having a mind of their own, took out that country, and now are on a war path to kill every other thing in the world. And so 86 takes place in a different country that is fighting against those robots, and the way they did it is very racist.
Nice.
And they... you'll find that episode once. I'll tell it. So they took all of the white people, and those are the good people. Those are the people that get to live. And everyone else with different colored hair, different skin tones, they get to live in these camps, and they fight to the death.
Gosh.
Against these
Sounds
robots.
Sounds like a final solution there.
It's very good though. Very, very, very good. I'm very into it. Story is phenomenal. The animation is phenomenal. The cinematography is phenomenal. Literally everything about this series is very, very well done in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 86 is not a real cop code. It's slang
Oh.
to get rid of something.
I would have already picked this for the show, but it's 24 episodes. Or 26 actually. And I'd rather like... if you guys end up watching this, I'd rather you just actually finish the whole thing. Because those last couple episodes in season 1 are some of the craziest cinematography I've seen in anime.
Really?
Like, very, very well done.
Maybe one of these days or one of these times we could coordinate doing like a something like
a
that.
longer series.
Well, yeah, where it's like, okay, for this episode, we're going to
do the first half
13.
and the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to pick it someday. So if you're down for that, I'd be completely down for it. I really like the series. I've seen it twice through, I think. And I've read like I said, I've read the light novel from where the entire anime basically takes place. A lot of fun. Really into it. Characters are awesome. Anyway, that's all I had for news. We can talk a little bit about our seasonal shows if you all would like. I don't have a lot to say about a seasonal show because I regrettably have still not really watched a ton of my seasonal shows. I'm basically like one episode behind on Dan. I'm caught up on that stupid YouTube one because I have to be. And then the other shows I just really haven't gotten sat down and started watching. I've been addicted just watching Community. If I'm watching TV, it's because I'm watching Community. I'm on season 4 now, so I really need to sit down and have an anime week and just binge anime for a bit there. But I will talk about a show called Clevitus. Now, this first episode is a 40-minute long episode, and I could only handle the first half of the episode because it was a lot to take in. They do a lot of heavy imagery or subverting expectations. I'll just say I think Thane would enjoy this show.
I've been watching it.
You have been watching it. Okay.
He's like, gotcha.
Gotcha. You
I
got me.
gotcha.
I will say though, I have watched all the first episodes of all my shows, but I haven't been caught up with any.
Are you not caught up on Clevitus then?
No, I think I'm a couple episodes behind.
So you've
Yeah.
watched more than I have for sure then. It seems like a very interesting show, and I will definitely keep up with this. It's dark fantasy, basically. That's the best way to put it. Yeah, I don't want to say anything because it would get kind of spoiler territory from just that first half of the episode. Or I guess, yeah, because episode 1 is just a longer episode. I didn't realize it was a long episode when I first started it. I started it, and I was like, gosh, this has been going for a while. I got to take a break. And I clicked pause, and I only see that I'm halfway through, but I didn't realize I had gone 25-ish minutes into it or whatever it was. Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to be a banger. I think it's going to be one of those ones that people don't really think about or see. It's like a hidden gem kind of banger.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, though. Like I said, I'm only one episode into it, so maybe it falls off. Who knows? What about you, Thane? Do you have a show you'd like to talk about? Any one of your one episode shows you've done so far that you found interesting?
I like Secrets of the Silent Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
I think I'm 3 episodes into that one. I still haven't caught up on it yet, but I'm still enjoying that show myself.
It's like Rain Man, but it was a tiny, cute little anime girl. Well, not really.
I need to watch that.
not
Then.
like
I
Rain
freaking
Man.
like.
It's not
Rain
like
Man.
Rain Man.
I don't know what
She's really good at math, is what I'm getting at.
Oh.
In the fantasy world, it's unique because she's like really good with numbers.
She's very good at the numbers.
Yeah.
I was in my head. I literally went, "Whoa!" It's about a cute autistic girl that's doing fun stuff.
She's kind of autistic.
Kinda. I think you would still like it. I wouldn't equate it to Rain
It's
Man.
more
but
like
I think you'd
it's
still
more like
it.
it's actually closer to Never Been Kissed because she's infiltrating a high school. In a way,
It's weird that she's infiltrating the high school because she is still high school age. Like it still fits.
she's a what's it called? She skipped grades.
She skipped some grades. Yeah.
She's a child prodigy.
But she's also a girl failure.
Yeah, just like Never Been Kissed.
Just like Never Been Kissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anime fantasy Never Been Kissed. Yep, there
Yeah.
you go.
Nice.
Good job, Thane. All right, Sky, what about you? You got a show you'd like to sell us on?
So for this season, I'm actually watching. This is the most anime I've watched in a very long time, like seasonally anyway. I think I have 10 plus shows, like somewhere around 10. And I am caught up on all of them except for like this week, whatever's come out this week. Because usually when I don't know how you guys do it, but when we're doing the watch along, like since it's bi-weekly, the first week I'll just watch all my shows, and then the second week I will just binge that anime until I finish it, and then I'll go back to watching my shows.
I usually like to try to start the show first week, but recently it's just been binge it all in the last week.
I like doing it the last week because then everything's more fresh in my brain.
Fair.
But anyway, I wanted to talk about Dan to Dan because my experience with Dan to Dan has been really, really fun. And this last like 2 episodes has been like the most payoff in my brain for something like this. Because after we watched season 1, whenever it came out, like beginning of the year last year sometime, whenever it came out, I was like, wow, this show's awesome. Cole and Thane had finally gotten me to like partake of the sweetness of Dan to Dan. So after I finished season 1, it was a few months later, but then I started reading the manga. And when I read this specific arc with the Exorcist rock stars, I remember reading this and I'm like, this is going to be so freaking cool animated, and I cannot wait for this like heavy metal rock concert that's going to partake here. And then we get the episode, spoilers, it was freaking amazing. I loved the song, and the voice of the singer, I was like, man, that sounds so familiar. I couldn't figure it out. Well, I never like Googled it or anything, but then one night we were talking to one of our buddies, and he had mentioned that Dragon Force was the singer for Dragon Force. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense in my head. So freaking cool, though. I think Dan to Dan's awesome, and if you're not watching it, why?
It's pretty good.
Well, you can ask Jake, but throwing him under the bus.
I think it's one of those just like classic banger shows. It comes out, things like this just come around every now and then. It's one of those that like I always talk about the shows when you're reading the manga. You go, oh yeah, this will get an adaptation. But every now and then you get one of these letters like you're reading the manga and you're like, oh, this won't just get an adaptation. This is gonna like rock the whole world. That's what I thought like with Chainsaw Man when I first watched or read that way back when. And then I thought it with Dan Dan as well. I thought it with Free Rin, but I wasn't sure if it would get an adaptation or not because I didn't think it was getting that popular before the anime.
Another recent one I can think of is Oshinoko. That first season was humongous, dude.
Humongous. Way too big.
Yeah, and then the band that did the opener freaking blew up.
Yeah.
Unless they were huge before I came.
They were
They were
big.
big before.
Oh,
But
okay.
like they probably
That was like
tripled.
their number one.
They probably tripled because of that opening.
That's crazy. Anyway, this is like one of those moments for me, though, and I know you have this very often, Cole, because you read a lot of really good manga that ends up getting adapted. But this is one of those things where I read this chapter, and I'm like, wow, I cannot wait for this. Finally got it, and it was just exceeded my expectations. It was so much fun. So yeah, I don't know, it was fun.
There's something like special about reading a manga and then hoping and waiting for that specific scene that you really love to be adapted, and then actually getting to watch that scene be adapted, that like everything kind of like comes together. It's really cool. I'm a big fan of those moments.
I wonder if mangakas make specific scenes like that for
anime,
where they're like, okay, I'm gonna draw it like this and leave it pretty open ended, but I give enough direction that I'm like, yeah, this is, people can for one use their imagination while they're reading it, but for two, when it does get adapted, like this is, I'm writing it for the anime adaptation. This to me is what felt like with this scene.
I was gonna say, I think that happens more often than you'd think. I bet a lot of the times, if they realize that their stuff's getting kind of popular, I bet they start writing it for the intention for it to be animated, because they know they'll probably get more royalty money from the adaptation than they would just the manga itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that all works out, but I'm assuming that's what I'm assuming they would get more money from an anime adaptation than they get from the manga. Unless rights are just dumb and they don't get much at all from the anime, and I hope that's not the case, because that would suck. Yeah, banger. A lot of good shows this season, honestly, and like I just really need to get into them and sit down and start just binging a lot of them. Like another one we've talked about all the time, it's To Be Hero X. I've not seen the last 2 episodes, because normally we would watch them together, but we haven't watched the last 2 together. And I've just been sitting on them.
I've been sitting on them too.
So we'll have to watch those maybe tonight or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I think it's about that time where we can start talking about Grimgar. Something ashes. Illusions and ashes, or ashes in fantasy, or something. They got 2 different names apparently. But yeah, so we'll be going full on spoilers for Grimgar. For the first 13 or 12 episodes, I don't remember exactly how many. It was 12. It was 12. And minor spoiler, I did look into the light novel a little bit for this series. So after we end the episode, if you guys would like, we could do a mini spoiler cast for the things that I happen to look up.
Okay.
If you guys are curious enough, because I doubt you guys will ever read the light novel.
Yeah. You're right. For me, anyway.
And I will mention that this will almost certainly never get a season 2, even though
it was 2016 when the show came out.
Even though it did get popular, it was popular when it came out and still is, because the studio that did a lot of the artwork shut down in 2017 because the dude that ran it was very old at the time. And then not only that, a couple of years later, he passed away of old age. So, like, it probably almost certainly will never get a season 2. And if it does, it won't even look the same, I would imagine. Anyway, Grimgar. Grimgar is an isekai about a bunch of people that all get isekai to this world and then are more or less forced into, fighting, I guess, in service of just fighting people. Fighting, not people, but fighting, like, monsters and stuff. I don't quite understand that.
It's like draft. It's like you're getting drafted.
They're drafted into becoming an adventurer, basically. They're isekai. Their memories are more or less wiped when they get sent to this world of Grimgar, and they are given a class and said, this is what you're doing. I don't really know who's the one that says this is what you're doing, but that's what happened. And there's a lot of questions and mysteries that I have about this series, which is what led me to look into the light novel a little bit.
Yeah, watching this anime, it's like you're watching someone do a Twitch stream of an RPG, but they're not very good at it, so they're just stuck on the same zone for like hours.
So, I will be the big defender of the series because I did enjoy it. I didn't think it was phenomenal. Spoiler, I don't think it's the greatest thing ever, but I also don't think it was that bad. And I have a lot of defenses as to why I think the way I think, and I can probably rebut a lot of some of your guys' complaints, but I will concede that your complaints are definitely valid, and the reason why they're complaints is because it is an issue with the series that you guys are probably thinking anyway. Yeah. So, let's dive. Thane already hit a big one, right? Yeah. We spend a lot of time in the same places doing the same things, and
for a light novel that works great.
Yeah. So okay, I'll just come right out with it. I think the biggest issue with this series was that it was adapted poorly. I think they really just took that light novel and just like copied it onto a script, and that was what they went off of. I don't think that they tried to adapt it for the medium well. And as well, I think they also like covered by having good music and good animation, and hoped that that would cover for their bad adaptation, which is very interesting. And you'll see this a lot, right? Like the biggest like example I have is how often you'll see a character, they'll react to something, they'll have this issue, they'll have a problem, they'll react to it, and then you as the viewer go, okay, I understand. And then the guy goes, and then I'm just feeling so bummed about that because of this and this and this. And it's like, yeah, we know. We witnessed this happen. We saw you do this thing. You don't need to tell us. And it's because in a light novel, I guarantee you they said it. They guarantee you in the light novel they tell us. And it's because in a light novel we don't get to see it happen. We don't get to see the characters' reactions, their facial features, all of these different things. But we definitely see it in anime, and that's why it feels like we're just getting on loop on repeat. So I think that is the biggest problem, is that it was adapted poorly.
So I think, like, for me, this show, it has some good moments, but they're few and far in between. Like, the first few episodes were kind of a slog for me, and then when we get the death scene with the one guy, it's like, oh, okay, like, something's going on. Like, we're doing stuff. And then after that, it was like 2 or 3 episodes straight of everybody just the sad boy arc. Everybody's sad. They're not really doing anything. And then kind of after that is where the show started to get better for me, I guess. Is like the longer the show went on, it started to get better. Or at least I started to like the characters more, if anything. But I think my biggest problem with the show is just the writing in general. Like, sometimes the writing, I was just like, what are these lines? It felt like it was written by AI. And one of my favorite lines that had me dead was the kind of the douchey kid with the red hair. What's his name? Ronta. He's talking to Main Boy, and he says, and I quote, "What's wrong with calling an idiot idiot? Idiot."
No. I thought that was good. I agree. It was bad, but I think it was good because like it fits the character. I've heard that from other shows, things like that.
The one I've heard constantly is like, no matter how many times we kill this person, he won't die.
So at that point, when I had heard that idiot line, I was like, you know what? I think my problem is I'm trying to dig too deep into this, and this show is just very surface level of like what's on screen is what it is.
People die when they are killed.
I think there's another line too where they're just like goblins. Anyway, there was just lots of silly things like that where after I had heard that line, the idiot one, I was just like, okay, me personally, I need to just chill out with this because this show ain't deep at all.
Yeah, I'll defend that. I'll defend the idiot line because I thought it was funny, but I do agree it's not great. It's not very good. But yeah, like the whole goblin, that whole stuff, straight up you can tell it's just the adaptation. It's just that's what we would have seen in the light novel. That's the way they would have written things in the light novel, and you would have been fine with it because that's how books are written. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't adapt very well. I don't think there was as much waiting around doing nothing as you guys alluded to, though. Like, the guy dies, they do an episode of grieving and how everyone kind of processes it, and by the next episode they got married and they're partying, they're going out again. It wasn't like 2 episodes of doing nothing or 2.5 or something. They fairly got back on the horse fairly quickly, honestly. But like a whole episode of just grieving, yeah, I can get what you mean by that. It is slow. It is definitely slow.
Well, maybe it felt like in my head they weren't doing anything because they just kept talking about Minato and how much he meant to them, and I don't know how long they knew the guy for.
No, yeah, and honestly, I think part of the issue where that lies in is you don't care about the characters at that point that much.
Right.
Like, you have like a surface care about them, but not that much. And you would care about them more probably if it was a light novel, you know?
Sure,
and
yeah.
so that I think it once again just resolves everything. I think all of the issues that this story has goes back to the fact that it was adapted from a light novel not very well. I think they skipped a lot of things that would have been good for character development, and they slowed down on things that they thought were meaningful, impactful moments, which they probably were in the light novel. But as a viewer who didn't have all the context, it doesn't work as well.
Yeah. Well, even like with Minato's death, the main kid, at some point he has an internal monologue, and he's like, "Man, like this guy really touched my life, but I don't know why. It's not like I've known him that long." And I'm like, "That's how I feel, brother. That's how I feel right now watching this."
Feels like the writing is contradicting itself.
Well, I don't know. I mean, oh yeah, sure,
Yeah.
I agree. Yes, I do. But the whole that part where you said this guy hasn't been in my life that long, but he had an impact on me. I don't know. I think if you were in the same situation, you would have been impacted by it. And so I think it's easy to put yourself in their shoes and be like, yeah, even the people that I didn't know that well, like that have died or could die in my life that I don't know very well, they would still impact me.
Sure, and I guess it's not that bothers me. It's the how much we kept calling back to this guy within a short amount of time. Or like I said, to me it felt like those few episodes after he died, it's like, dude, that's all we talked about was this guy. We just kept coming back to this dude. Everybody did. Everybody was sad, kept talking about Minato. The girls were crying, and I'm like, dang, like, yeah, I get it, but man, let's try to move on and get past this, you know?
I guess. I don't know. I it feels realistic, but maybe that's not what we want in stories.
Well, see, and I thought about that too, because when he first died, I'm like, oh, like that, the episode after he died, like the grief, that, like, I thought that was fine, because it's like, oh, this is real. Like, these guys don't know anything about their past life. They're all here trying, you know, like they're struggling killing one goblin at the very beginning. And then this dude dies, and you're like, oh, this is like, okay. Like, that moment for me was very impactful. I think the few episodes leading up to that were kind of nothing burgers for me, just not very entertaining. But then, boom, we get that, like you said, it felt real. And so after that, though, like the griefing episode was fine, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough, but it felt like those episodes after that was just like, we just kept coming back to this guy. But
They did.
Maybe it was, maybe I was comparing it to other death things, like death scenes in anime, of like when death scenes are done well and they're impactful, but then they don't overstay their welcome. Like, one of my favorite death scenes, spoilers for Naruto, was when a specific sensei dies, and it's not the white-haired one. It was Shikamaru.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very impactful death scene. A lot goes on with that, but and maybe it's just because I haven't seen it in a long time, but I don't remember them dwelling on that for episodes after that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's just a story thing. I think if you're trying to write the most realistic story you could, I don't think you do it like that. Because, like, going back to that Naruto without spoiling anything, you have the arc where the person dies. They have an arc, not an arc, but like a couple episodes in between that arc where they die. And then they have an arc where they get revenge on the person that killed that person. And then you never, like, hear about it ever again. It's like, okay, cool. I'm over my grief now. Bye. I don't care anymore. Like, every now and then, like, oh, yeah, that person died. But, like, you see those characters and, like, they don't care anymore. But put that into your shoes. If you have your sensei die, you're not getting over just because you killed the dude that killed him. You're still thinking about it all the time.
Right.
And it actually dwells with you.
And maybe that is more realistic to life, is how this show portrays that anyway, because you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, there's shows where you'll watch and it's like, one scene this guy dies, and then the next scene we forgot about him. We don't even care. Like, he's just gone.
And
past.
like to reinstate my defense, I guess, is that we probably don't want stories like this as human beings. We probably don't want stories where we have to, like, dwell on this person's death for so long, because that is sad. We don't want to be sad when we're watching stories all the time. And then B, I think also because it was adapted poorly that we get to see them dwell in their heads over and over again. We get so much internal monologue and like thoughts in their head in this show than we do in almost any other show. And if somebody just died in their life, of course, that's all they're going to be thinking about. So, of course, for the next couple episodes, we're just going to get over and over again. Yeah, what would this person do? This person died. Yeah, what did they do? But if this was adapted not from directly from a light novel, you probably wouldn't have that because you wouldn't have all of these internal dialogues all the time.
Right. Well, and maybe that honestly answers my question. Not even my question, but that is like maybe why I felt that way of like, man, we just keep talking about this, guys. Because how you said it at the very beginning of when we were talking about the show is you see the thing happen, then you keep hearing about the thing happen, and then you see how the thing affected the people, and then you keep hearing about how the thing affected them. Like, it's just, maybe that's what it is. It's just, it's too much of like seeing, hearing, and just going in circles of that, of like just poorly adapted. I can't remember how you worded it at the very beginning. Like, maybe they don't I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, but something similar to like they don't respect the audience enough to kind of piece things together that they have to keep reiterating.
That's what it feels like. I don't think that was the intention.
Sure, yeah, and
it does feel like they think all the audience is stupid and they got to spell everything out to them.
Insult your intelligence.
Yeah, but I mean that's just how the book would be written because in the book you can't get all that extra.
Right. They have to describe how somebody looks and feels.
Exactly. And this isn't to invalidate your complaint. I think your complaint is completely valid, and it is a real complaint that should have meaning, because it does have meaning. Because this is not how we watch a show. This is how we read a book.
Right.
And so like I said at the very beginning, all of my rebuttals will not be to invalidate your complaints, because your complaints are true, factual things that I think anybody that would watch the show should have. Well, and if they don't have, I think it's because they're trying to look for all of the good things in everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in all reality, though, like that, if that was my biggest complaint, what I really liked about it, and you've already touched on, is like the music bangs, the animation's really cool. There's some really fun fight scenes. Oh, another a specific dialogue scene that I actually enjoyed, and maybe you guys did or didn't like this as well, but it's when Ranta is talking to Hiro, and Ranta is just being his douchey little self. Then they're talking about weaknesses and whatnot, and Hiro kept trying to turn it back on Ranta, but Ranta's like, what the F, bro? Like, you want to talk about my weaknesses, but not about yours? Ranta kept making good points in this conversation, where I was like, I'm on Ranta's side right now, Hiro. I know you're trying to be like the nice guy and keep the party together, but until you put yourself in his shoes and kind of see where he's coming from. Anyway, that whole dialogue and that character arc of those two, like, coming around. Yeah. Ranta still, by the end, was still kind of a douche. Like, I didn't need your help, Baka.
Yeah.
When he's
still a douche.
Yeah, he's still a douche, but it's like you start to see things start to twist and turn for him, because he did almost die.
What is interesting about that one you talked about where Ranta just kept throwing it back? It's like, well, quit trying to get me, man.
Yeah.
The name of that episode is, man, I guess I am a bad leader. I don't know how to be a good leader. I'm just like, yeah, you don't. You really don't. And, like, it's very apparent just based on that exact dialogue that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think overall, the show does take a while to say what it wants to say. It does take a little bit for it to be like, this is the message, and we're driving it home. It's not we're driving it home. It's this is the message. This is still the message, and hey, this is still the message. They take a while to really drive it home, I guess, for lack of a better expression. But I still think it's fun. I still really enjoyed this show. Like, I didn't dislike it by any means. I enjoyed it enough to want to learn more about the series and see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
I will say, my biggest disappointment though isn't just the fact that it was like poorly adapted. My biggest disappointment is the world building. The world building is so unique and so cool. They even like touch on a little bit like, why are we just going into these people's houses and murdering them? These dog people, these goblins. Why are we just going here and murdering them? This is their house. Why are we coming here just to kill them? We're intruders, At the beginning, they're like, why are we doing this thing? Why do we all of a sudden be teleported here? Like, what's going on? And they don't address any of it. And it bothers me so much. I really hate that they couldn't address that at all in the series. I really wish they would have. And maybe when they were initially adapting this, they had the intention of doing the full series. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and to piggyback off of what you just mentioned, the first couple episodes where there's a specific scene where the gang sees a bunch of goblins sitting around a fire just drinking and vibing.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, is it going to be this type of show where we're like trying to show the humane sides of different beings and things of what they're doing? And then there's another moment when they're in the cave and they see the kobolds sleeping.
Yeah.
And they're just, Ronta's like, I'll kill them right now. I'll slice their necks. They won't even know. And everyone's like, geez, bro, like what? But like, those are like the only two moments.
They do those moments and then they just brush them off. Like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, well. And it was like almost within, well, it wasn't within the same scene, but like you get those moments, but then it also turns where they're just like, hey, like it's dog eat dog. This is kill or be killed. And we see that. And like, those are some of the stuff where I'm like, yeah, I like how that's pretty real. Like just as much as the gang is fighting to stay alive, so are those goblins. And like the one goblin they're fighting specifically, I think it's early on. I can't remember if this is before or after Minato dies, but the gang is struggling to take on this one freaking goblin. And like Thane already said, they're like, he can't be killed. We can't kill this thing. But that guy's fighting for his life just as much as you guys are fighting for yours. I liked those parallels. So maybe even just talking about it makes me like the show and hate the show a lot more, because there's just there's a lot left to be explored. I feel unsatisfied.
Yes, very much so. I thought the same. At the very so they end the episode, the series, on a quote unquote like satisfying ending. But oh my gosh, I feel so unsatisfied with how things were left off, and that's why I went looking. I was like, what else is going on?
Right.
Come to find out, there's 22 volumes of the light novel. This covers only like 2.5, maybe 3 volumes of that light novel, and it is still being written.
I mean, so it's obviously popular enough that people want it.
Yeah. I'll have a lot more to say about it after we finish the episode, but I don't know. It's interesting. Overall, that's the best way to put it. It's interesting. It's unfortunate that they didn't explore the things that we all wanted them to explore. And then probably like just the biggest unfortunate part is just the adaptation is just a little rough and makes it so people don't take it as seriously or as good as they'd like it to.
Yeah. What about you, Thane? We haven't really heard from you at all.
I think it was average.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
overall, I think that too.
Very average adaptation. Didn't really want me feeling like a desire to go out and search for more of it. It's like, let's go watch something more unique.
Well, I think one of my problems too when it comes to fantasy is the two shows in particular that and obviously one's an isekai, one's not, but Frieren and Mushoku Tensei, like in my head, that is peak fantasy. And anytime I watch fantasy, and this is my own fault, is that's what I'm comparing it to. And I just feel like different situations or similar situations that happen in other fantasy shows, that's what I compare it to. Whereas something like this, and you've already touched on, they had unique and interesting plot points and world building that they could have went that way and gone with it. But I feel like what we got in these 12 episodes tried to be a lot more focused on like character development and how the characters feel versus like them interacting with the world, which is some of the parts that I really liked and picked up on. Like, oh, okay, well, they're looking at the goblins and the goblins are hanging out, or they're respecting the wolves in the cave, like things like that we just didn't really get enough of. It was more so like how I'm feeling and how I'm feeling about this guy and how this guy feels. Like, I don't know. It was more focused on the party and their feelings rather than the world itself.
I think at its core, the writer made a cool, interesting, unique world and story, but they wanted to write a character drama. I think that's the issue. And so they just hard focus on the character drama aspect of it. I honestly think the character drama is fine. I think it's solid. I think it's obviously, we talked about all the issues. It is slow. It does have things where, because of the adaptation, it makes it kind of rough. But I think the things that happen in this character drama are good. I think the fact that you have people like Ronta, who goes through this arc, does change a bit, becomes a different person, but is still a douche, I think that's cool. I think it's so unique. You don't really have characters go through this entire arc, do change some ways, but then still still stay true to the person they actually are. I'd like to see Ronta not become a douche eventually, but like, who knows, you know?
The character that I thought of, and I think there's some parallels. I'm not going to say they're one for one, obviously, but when I saw Ronta and he had his kind of, you could see the gears turning a little bit towards the end, as I thought of Bakugo from My Hero.
Yeah.
Where he's a dick, but he does have like, he's got moments, you know,
Yep.
but he's still a dick.
He's still, yeah. Yeah, that's a very good parallel, honestly. Overall, I did enjoy the show. I think, it's like a basic show still, just because there's not a lot to it, because we didn't get to explore as much as the stuff I'd like to. I think if they did explore the stuff that I wanted them to, I think I would have liked it a lot more. But because they didn't, I think I only gave it like a 7.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd give it, like a 6 or 7. Like, it's not the worst show I've ever seen, obviously, and I watched it, but I wasn't like itching to watch it. It wasn't one of those for me, and I don't think I could care to ever watch more. Although, hearing the fact that there's 22 volumes of the light novel, to me, that's like, okay, well, there's obviously something here, and maybe, I don't know. I don't know what they cut out of the light novel of where we're at right now, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe there was stuff talking about their past lives, or we're getting glimpses of that, but it got cut out from the anime. Who freaking knows?
So before we conclude, I do want to mention this as well. If you notice, in every single episode, we basically had a fully vocal song, basically. From what I understand, the production of this was not only just an adaptation, but also kind of doubled as a way to promote an album. I don't know too much. I didn't look super into it. I just saw some people kind of talking about this. And that is kind of apparent now that you think about it, how there are so many different like, music video sections all of a sudden.
Yep.
Because they were just trying to promote the songs. They were trying to promote this music as well. And maybe that also, while it was really cool to have all these cool music scenes, there's a lot of those music scenes that nothing happened in them. They just kind of sat around doing nothing. And maybe that led to it felt like nothing ever happening in the show, because they had to spend 2.5 minutes or more to do a music video all of a sudden.
When we saw the first one, and maybe I'm just misremembering, but when we saw the first one of like all the gang, they're off all doing their own thing, and you get the music video portion, I'm like, oh, well, if we're getting a montage here, someone's going to die. Because I'm just trained, like, when I watch stuff like that, you get like a moment to breathe before the heartache hits. And I can't remember if that was before or after Minato died. I think it was before, like maybe an episode before. But in my head, I watched it instantly, like, oh, he's going to die. But then we got more of those, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? We got a lot of these music video montages, but that makes sense.
I think the music was still good, though.
Oh,
I really did enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think the animation, I think the art style was phenomenal. I was very impressed with it. I thought it looked really good all the time.
There was a lot of cinematic, like, pull-aways where a character's just moving like this in one spot, but they've got the background and the foreground moving to make it look like a parallax.
It's beautiful.
There was a lot of cool stuff like that where you just don't really see that in anime very much.
Well, do you guys have any final thoughts on the show, Grimgar?
Did want me to play some RPGs. I'll give it that much. Getting him together in a party. I was just thinking, man, what's a quick MMO we can get into it? I was thinking of the Lord of the Rings MMO.
Well, let's play the one that. Let's play Granblue first.
Yeah,
that one.
Fantasy.
Yes.
We can play Granblue together.
That's it.
We can play our Grimgar.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very similar tone-wise, but
yeah.
I would be down. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
we should
about
play
that. We should play that.
We should play that.
Any
others?
But the show itself was It's just it'd probably be better as a video game.
Or just stay as a book.
Yeah, stay as a book.
I mean, I think you have to just adapt it better.
Yeah.
Like Mushoku Tensei, I think, is adapted perfectly.
I think a more real, this feels like make a really good video game, like hardcore. You actually have to like put in a lot of effort into actually
leveling up.
It's not even really leveling up. You just got to do things.
Get better.
Yeah,
Get
you got to
good
get
scrub.
good. Yeah, get good scrub.
I think the more that that I guess I've personally learned about, I'm sure you guys can say the same, but the more I've learned about like manga, anime, light novels, there's an art to adapting those things to different mediums.
Yes.
And it can make or break something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think they just kind of just stuck on we got good music and good art. We'll be fine. And that's what I saw the animation, or I saw the art style. Thought that's what drew me to the show to begin with. So it worked for that anyway. Well, that was Grimgar.
Yeah.
Like I said, after Thane reveals to us what our show will be for the next 2 weeks, we'll do like a mini spoiler cast for Grimgar light novel. Mind you, I do not have all of the information, but I do got some information that may or may not interest you in continuing on with the series. So, without further ado, Thane, what are we watching in the next 2 weeks?
Watching Umamusume, Pretty Derby.
Oh my gosh, we're going to do the horses?
Yeah, the horses. It's popular.
Umamusume. All right, here we go. By next week, I want you guys to I want you to figure out who your favorite horse is so we can all compare, and who has the best horse wins.
Well, we download the game.
I don't know if we figure it out.
This is the one show where I've seen the clip of like the girls in the lunchroom and the zebra.
No.
No, this is
this
horse
one where
racing.
the girls are running on the horse track.
So this is the gotcha game.
The
Everybody's
gotcha
playing.
game, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's
but
playing
the
right now.
anime adaptation.
Okay, I can't remember what I'm thinking
It's
of.
just me, or it seemed like Japan is less greedy with their gotcha games. Maybe because I haven't played too much, but it seems like that.
China number one.
Yeah, China number one.
Anyway, that's our show. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you have a good one and have a great life. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, now for the spoiler cast. Spoilers for Grimgar. For like all of it, basically. I'm gonna be unhinged and just tell you everything that I know about it, okay? So, from what I understand, from here on out, the characters just never get W's. They just take L after L after L after L. It was almost impossible for them to get any W's. And it's just sad and depressing the whole way through. Like, where they ended is probably one of the biggest W's they've had.
Wow.
Like, where they get all this gold because they happen to kill this giant thing. You do get to learn a little bit about their pasts. And, like, each of them aren't, like, that impressive. Like, the main character, Haruhiro, he's got this girl that he liked back in his previous life. All of a sudden, he gets transported to here, and then like volume 5 or something like that, she gets teleported here, and then that's where his memories start coming back. And after a while, he realizes this is the same person, and then she dies. Their tank guy, the guy with the big sword, I think he dies in volume 4.
Gosh. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. He dies pretty early on, and then like, I don't know how much you get to know about the world. I think you do get to know a little bit about it, but not enough to where like it was that interesting. And then they do this weirdest freaking thing in the world. They kill Mary, and volume later are able to bring her back to life somehow. And that happens apparently. I don't quite get
Does
that.
her and Hero hook up?
Yes and no, right? So they hook up, and then somehow they shift to a new world. And they wipe their memories again.
Oh, no.
Mary and Hero get together again, but they don't think they hook up until maybe they're not even hooked up yet. I don't know, but they're the only two from what we saw that are still like partied together in this new world that they're in. Like the other people,
They're just gone.
I think the red hair girl dies. I think the other people are just they don't know them anymore. Their memories are wiped. So it doesn't even matter.
Flat Chest and Ronta don't hook up?
I don't think so. They might have. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know too much about it. All I know is that, A, I don't ever get satisfied from learning about the world as much as I'd liked to. And then B, apparently the author is basically just writing more and more just because they can just do whatever they feel like. They don't have like an end goal. It's just like, it's still selling. I'll just write whatever comes to mind. So unfortunate. It's not great, apparently. It's kind of sad.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's, from my understanding, it's just a dark fantasy where everyone always dies and it's always sad all the time. And it never is going to have a conclusive ending because the guy can just keep coming up with new things and
That really doesn't
makes
make
money.
me ever want to
Nope,
read
yeah,
it.
it made me sad too. I was like, well, this sucks. I don't ever want to learn more about this. I don't want to continue on with this series. It was pretty depressing to find out about that, which maybe that was his whole goal, is to make all of the people that are interested in his work depressed.
Dang.
Yeah, so even more so, the fact that, like, we're not going to get any more anime, we probably definitely won't, because there's just, like, it's just not worth it.
Demand.
The next volume, apparently, though, is, like, really good action, the one where their tank dies.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that's, like, one of the most action things, so if they would have turned that one into, like, a movie or something, they said that probably would have worked pretty well. But other than that, like, don't even bother anything else after that.
One of my favorite things about prolonged death from media was God of War, where he has in the reboot, well, in the whole series, he has his wife and daughter's ashes covered on his body. He used to be brown, but now he's pale white. That's why they call him the Ghost of Sparta. That's just a reminder that, oh, you did that terrible thing and it's like caked on your body now forever. And then later, at the end of God of War 2018, like, he has his bandages still on there from his blades. And then finally when he gets up the mountain, he just undoes the bandages and lets him go.
Cool.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do like it when long media is able to have some good resolutions
Yeah.
like that. Seems like Grimgar doesn't,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it a little bit more, see if I can figure out what the world was. It just doesn't seem like they took it in the direction we were all hoping, learning more about the monsters, why they're actually here, and all these kind of things. Seems like each main person had, like, their own backstory of, like, when the world they were in before, and it's all very typical stuff.
Yeah.
Things that they've already alluded to in just the series, like the wizard girl. She mentions in the series, like, she was like, I'm not fat or whatever. Like, don't, like, she gets all depressed because somebody called her fat. Apparently, that's what she was teased about in the previous life, but she wasn't fat. I don't freaking know.
She just has fat boobies.
Yeah, just huge ones. So, overall, I think the 12 episodes we got is probably the best way to enjoy this. You're just going to have to be unsatisfied, unfortunately. And, yeah, that's Grimgar.
Goodbye, Grimgar.
Bye, Grimgar.
If you did listen to the spoiler cast, thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys have a good one. Have a good life, and we'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.